I am Elise Byrd, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. I have not been able to attend prior meetings. My husband has, and he talks about what a wonderful time he has here. In all of the personalities of the candidates, I'm the bean counter. I'm a 30-year accountant. So I look at numbers, pennies, dollars, and cents. And I want to make sure that our tax dollars, the money that we pay into month 304, is spent wisely and efficiently and effectively. I have some of the companies that I've worked for. I relocated Direct Energy from Canada to Houston when they moved here. And I moved their whole accounting department here. That gives you the scope of that. I've managed multi-million-dollar budgets for companies. I have managed contracts, large teams. I've served on 2 nonprofit boards, and I'm currently on 2 church boards. And so it takes a team, it takes a village to get things done. It really, really does. And I'm just going to talk about the numbers, because the numbers to me don't make sense. I requested the bookkeeping reports for the past 2 years. And our plan, as Director Ford said, our plan is over 43 years old, and when it was constructed, it was not constructed to be able to manage all the homes that have currently been built in MUD 304. And so, as far as technology and structure and processing, we have a plant that is not serving us. We're enslaved to the plant. And I'm saying that to say that I looked at the books, and in the past 18 months, we've spent $1.6 million in repair and maintenance to our plant. That's a lot of money. We've also spent, let me get my number right, we spend $1.6 million. The waste, our plant cannot process all the waste that flows through from all of our communities. And as a result, we have to have a company that comes in that removes sludge and takes away excess waste. $182,000. The next thing that we're doing here is that the chemicals that we're injecting into our plant it was done to be able to negate the smell. That's not happening. We still have a smell, and we have spent $104,000 in injecting chemicals in our plant to negate the smell. If you look at that, we're almost at $2 million. We need a new plant. The current plan is to expand the pool at our plant, which means that it's going to allow the plant to store more poop. It's not going to eliminate the odor, and it's not going to eliminate the excess expense of having poop pumped out. That's a fact. We need a more logical plan. We need a more beneficial plan. You can't keep putting old parts on an old car. It costs too much. One of the other things that I'm discouraged about is that our community rating is changing from residential to residential/commercial. I'm a 20-year realtor, so I'm very versed in what goes on in Harris County and how districts and areas are labeled. We've got a warehouse coming in right across the street from the school where our kids cross every day going to and from school. Silverland Estates is one of our high-value communities. They have the largest lots, the most square feet, and they have very high sales values in their homes. Those people are going to have a warehouse directly behind their homes. And I'm here to tell you, it's going to devalue the property. Nobody's going to want to buy a house, and in their backyard, these people have beautiful yards, and they're looking at a warehouse. What we need to do, since we can't stop it, we need a plan. We need to make sure there's no traffic coming through our neighborhood. We can make that happen. We need to make sure that there's a retaining wall or a sound wall so that the people's homes that back up against that warehouse are protected. We need to make sure that, dumpsters containers and trash things are usually in the back of the warehouse. Those properties don't need to be impacted by that. We need action. We need unified action. We need a unified plan, and we need vision. The remark was made that the warehouse is bringing $43 million in tax revenue to our community. That's not true. The warehouse is costing $43 million to build. That's the tax, that's the revenue, that's the value, the taxable value of the warehouse. That is not tax money that we are going to receive. So we need an action plan, and we need to move forward. We need to protect our community, and we need to protect our home. Currently, we live in Harris County. Flood, tornadoes. There was an incident with tornadoes down in 1960. We don't have a contingency plan. If we had a flood, a windstorm, or tornado come in and hit our 43-year-old plant, we're in trouble. We have to have a plan. We've got to have direction, we've got to have focus, and we've got to have vision. Thank you.